Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's good to connect with you once again. It's been some time now since we were last able to fellowship together. With the onset of the coronavirus, it should be clear to all of us that we're living in a time when the world has changed. For scores of people in our communities across the country, this has caused anxiety, fear, and so much uncertainty. It's incredible how such a small, unseen germ has brought the world to its knees and crippled so many economies. It's times like these that highlight our vulnerability. We are so frail and fragile when we consider the enormity of the universe. It's also at times like these, in the midst of chaos and disaster, the darkness driven by uncertainty and fear, that the light of the gospel of Yeshua can powerfully reach into a largely unbelieving world to bring hope and light and real change. This is a time for us as believers to shine the light of Yeshua in our neighborhood, in our communities, right across the country. Yeshua has not been taken by surprise by what has happened in our world. He knows all about it. In fact, he has our lives in his hands and we are secure. Our lives are anchored in him. And that should bring security to our lives. I want to encourage us to do what the government has instructed, to stay indoors, to wash our hands, to only go out for the essentials, to practice social distancing. This seems foreign to us because we're kind of people who are touchy. We want to embrace one another. We want to extend the love of Yeshua through touch. But let me encourage you to be a responsible citizen and follow the instructions that's been given to us. We don't need to be afraid because, as I've said before, we have a Savior who knows the beginning from the end, and our lives are in his hands. We should not be afraid. Indeed, we should not be drinking, as so many people are doing, from the well of fear, drinking in everything that there is to be said and heard about the coronavirus. We don't need to plunge ourselves into fear. In fact, we need to lift our heads. We need to focus our thoughts on Yahweh, who has not been startled. He is not daunted by the current situation. In fact, this might be part and parcel of his purpose. And we, as individuals and the body of people, we need to endeavor to stay in the center of his will. And when we do that, we have assurance and we can have peace. We should do what the scriptures tell us. Allow our thoughts and our minds to stay on Yahweh. And in doing so, we will experience perfect peace, his peace, the kind of peace that the world doesn't know, the kind of peace that passes all understanding. Even in the midst of trouble and disaster, this peace keeps us. Isn't that a wonderful thought?